Wholeness, highest blessings. Thank you for being here. This is Mark Roman with Muscle Mentality, and this is the 30-day challenge. How to deal with everything. We're on day 5. How to deal with everything that a human being experiences. And we'll be covering topics like existentialism, death, life, sex, partnership, money, all these things that human beings deal with. Now, yesterday we spoke about detachment and how detachment from outcomes and detachment from people allows us to come into wholeness and recognize our true power. When we're not attached to external people or things, we come into our own and we recognize that we give ourselves everything we need. And when you're in a place of self-satisfaction, there's no need to seek it outside. You're always in satisfaction with yourself. Now today we're going to be talking about deprogramming. If you can see that. So I was going to do this video outside, but it's raining, and I figured, well, it's a good opportunity to use the whiteboard. So that's what we're going to do. So how to deal with everything, day 5, deprogramming. When you enter a spiritual path, you realize that all the things that you want, not in a material way, but in a spiritual force of being way, the essence of who you really want to be. You want to be strong-willed, disciplined. You want to be clear and loving and spontaneous. You want to be compassionate to others. You want to feel purpose in your life. All these things that you naturally want and gravitate towards, you have blocks towards them. And these blocks can come from experiences, which we may call emotional traumas, but oftentimes there's mental installations, mental programming that's been installed in you, in your consciousness, and it's your job to clear them out and take your power back. Now, you are a being of wholeness, but what other people may do is, whether intentionally or unintentionally, is compartmentalize your mind. And they do this in order to get you to do what they want you to do. Now, this could come across as from parents that want you to get a good job and a house and a lawn, and so they want you to take the safe route. And being an artist and being an entrepreneur, those types of ideas may not be supported and squashed, and so they compartmentalize you and say that you'll never be able to do something like that, or you'll never. It's separate from being a responsible adult. It's separate from raising a family. It's different. It's selfish for you to serve your own passions. So that was just one example. But programming does go deep. It's deeply embedded in our culture in the Western society. It's deeply embedded in America, and it's deeply embedded around the world. Within the Western culture I'm going to speak about, because that's what I'm familiar with, that's what I grew up in, and that's what I exist in currently. So let's start with education. Now, the educational system, just a brief history lesson. America's educational system is based off of the Prussian system. And the Prussian system, Prussia was a country that basically became Germany. And when they lost the Napoleonic War, they counseled and said, why do we lose? And a man named Johann Gottlieb Fichte, he said that the men were thinking for themselves, that they were, when ordered to die, they would flee and try to save themselves. So they wanted to create the perfect soldier, the mind that serves no matter what. So to do this, they started to compartmentalize the mind, and specifically they started early. Now, there's a quote from Johann Gottlieb Fichte. He says, "The children are a blank slate. We should write on that slate." Now think about that for a second. Children are a blank slate. We should write on that slate. You came into this world clear and passionate and full of energy, completely in alignment. You were just happy for no reason. Unconditional alignment. And then programs were installed into you that made you feel that you had to do something to feel worth something, that you weren't enough unless you did something else outside of you for you to feel it. So this Prussian military system, they created an educational system called schools, S-C-H-U-L-E, which in German means to become the accepted thing. to become the accepted thing. And then you can see our word, SCHOOL, the same word. So they put them in conditioning, basically in conditioning, and they broke it up into subjects and periods. So a subject telling you what to think, and a period telling you how long to think about it. So to create the perfect soldier, you have to break up knowledge into different times, and you don't study math when you're studying science. You don't study English when you're studying history. There's separate periods, separate. You get graded on this. Now Henry or Sally thinks that they suck at math, but they're great in literature. And they suck at English, but they're great in science. When wholeness, knowledge is knowledge, and a whole being knows about all. So a man named Horace Mann came over from America, I believe in 1912, early 1900s, and he fell in love with this Prussian system. He was completely in love with it. He loved their method of installing periods and subjects, and he took that concept and brought it back to America and became a foundational leader in the educational system. Now, today, I'm based in New York City. In Riverdale, New York, in the northwestern tip of Manhattan, is a school called Horace Mann, one of the most prestigious schools in the country, and specifically in New York. It's an elite school. So I'm telling you all this so that you just understand the facts, so you understand the information that there's people trying to program you, and it's been going on since you were young. And advertising and cartoons and subliminal messaging. I think we're all familiar that there's conflicting messages that really don't serve us to the highest level. So it's not about those people are bad and those people are good, because when I told you in the first day, all is self. It's all aspects of you, wholeness. You just need to take the information and decide what you're going to do. You just need to take the information that, okay, my psyche has been programmed, and notice it when it comes up. Have awareness when it comes up. When you want to love someone, but the idea that this person is outside my culture, or this idea that, anything, when a program comes up, when a mental construct comes up, we break through it. We break the limitations. Always breaking limitations, breaking programming, deprogramming. And that's what deprogramming is about. It's clearing away all this mental blockage. It is mental hygiene. It's brushing your brain. It's brushing your mind clean, because compartmentalization will not serve you on a path of wholeness. If you're on a spiritual path, it's all about lighting up all the darkened parts of yourself so that you are aware of your whole being, so that you are in love in every moment, so that you are compassionate to others, so that you shine a light unto yourself and it radiates outwards. So most people don't know that the sun is just gravity pulling hydrogen, helium, heavy metals into its core, and the fusion reaction causes it to emanate light, but it just pulls it back in. So really the sun is shining on itself. The sun is shining on itself, and we get to experience the light. But the thing is, the sun doesn't care who it shines on. It shines on everyone, whether we call them good or bad. It shines on everyone. So we really gotta deprogram these ideas of good and bad, of good and evil, of separates, because obviously we all understand the contrast. I like to simplify it into pleasing and displeasing, something I like and something I don't like. I think we all agree we don't like to be killed. We don't like to die. I think we all agree we like to be healthy. I think we all agree we would like to be mobile, to be capable, to have resources. I think humans, in this perspective, in this subjective experience as a human being, we can all agree on certain things. Air feels good. Weightlessness feels good. Water, maybe that's taken a bit too far. Maybe some people don't like water. I've actually had some people tell me that I don't like the taste of water, and I was like, what are you talking about? So deprogramming, how to do it. It begins in meditation. starts with awareness, hyper awareness of what are your intentions behind your actions, what are your intentions behind your thoughts. So if an intention came from outside of you, you'll feel it. Wait, that's not me. I don't want that. Where did I get that from? Oh, I let that one go. That too. That too. And you let it all go. Let it all go. Breathe. Breathe deep. And you let it all go. Every time an idea that doesn't serve you comes up, and you'll know when you check the intention if it stops you, if it blocks you from experiencing love, if it blocks you from being compassionate, if it blocks you from being your highest version of yourself. There is no reason why the highest version of yourself can't radiate outwards. You are a whole being. So clear out all the nonsense, clear out all the programming, and then be very wary about what you install in your consciousness. So now you become the programmer. And in the last video, in the 2 videos ago in forgiveness, I spoke about positive affirmations. Positive affirmations are positive programming. I love myself completely. I trust myself completely. I install that program in my psyche, in my consciousness, so that if I can feel an automatic negative thought coming up, I'm actually replacing it with an automatic positive thought. So if I think that I don't want to go to this event, I don't have anything to wear, automatically, I am enough. And just like that, my energy rises. And just like that, I have momentum in the right direction, because I am a whole being and I am connected with all of you, and I want to interact with all of you. So there would be no blocks towards any of that, getting out of the mind and letting that go. Now finally, there's a technique called Ho'oponopono. If meditation is still very hard for you, Ho'oponopono is just a very quick ritual from Hawaii where they use 4 phrases. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. So again, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And in this way, it's called cleaning. We clean out all the debris, we clean out all the dead memories, we clean out all that doesn't serve us. So I love you. We are all connected. We are all from the same source. I love you. You are me. I love you. I'm sorry I was unconscious. I'm sorry I was unconscious. I'm sorry that this is going on within my consciousness and I was unaware. Please forgive me. I'm doing better. I will do better. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to release, to let go. I hope this video helped you. I hope this video served. Please leave something in the comments if you have any questions, or feel free to email me personally at mark@musclementality.com if you need any more help. Wholeness.